Hello. This is Dr. Amigues from Unabridged MD, your friendly rheumatologist, and this is another episode of Unabridged MD. And today I'm going to talk about something that happened to me very recently in the hospital, and I realized the power of humanity and how important it is that we reach into our humanity to get the relationship with people that are around us. So let me go over what happened to me recently. As you may know, I need images every about 6 months because of my history of breast cancer. We want to make sure that if, we look and make sure that nothing is happening, because again, we have amazing treatment. So that may mean that maybe the treatment is not working anymore. And so we'll have other ones, exactly like it happens in rheumatology. That doesn't mean that I wasn't stressed. I will tell you that, since I opened my practice, I'm more not stretched, but like I feel that I have energy that I want to put in my life rather than in my health. And what ended up happening is that the insurance, again, did not agree to do a PET scan. And so I had to do a CT scan and a bone scan. So 2 tests instead of 1. And to do the 2 tests, I had to go 30 minutes away instead of 2 minutes away. Let me tell you that the experience was not pleasant. And so I've already decided that I'm actually already looking at prices so that I can pay myself for the PET scan because it's fine. The stress was not worth it. But what I realized is that I was feeling very uncomfortable when I was getting my test. And it was very quick, quick. Come here, come that, what's your name, date of birth, and then move on. And I felt really unease at the end. And the only person that made me feel a little bit okay was someone that asked me, I cannot even remember what he asked me about, but he asked me about something that had nothing to do with the test, my name, or, anything related to the hospital. And then it hit me because I was really wondering, why is it that I feel so uncomfortable here? And then it hit me that I felt like I was just another number, another person that they had to go through. And it didn't matter who I was. I was just another number. And that they were super efficient. There was no question about that. But they didn't care really about who I was, what I was doing, what's my story. And the stress that I was, living at that moment. And to me, that feeling is literally why I've left the institution I was in, because I was starting to offer this type of care. And I was like, I don't want to be that doctor. I don't want to be the doctor that wants to go from one patient to another, finish his interaction as soon as possible, does not want to know about the patient's life and fears and hopes and stress and anxiety and so on. And that is why I opened Unabridged MD. And I want to remind everyone, and there's a lot of physicians that are listening to the podcast, so I just want to say, and then there's also a lot of patients, and I just want to say, let's remember the power of humanity. I mean, after all, the most important thing that there is in this life is about relationship. It's not about the number of people you're going to get through. It's not about the number of people who are following you on social media, but rather about this really deep connection we get with people. And how amazing would it be if every time we interact with someone, we start with thinking, how can I make this person feel better? And so it wasn't yesterday, but when I did the CT scan and the bone scan, what ended up happening, and that's what I realized later, is that after just being very passive and feeling sorry for myself for having to do these scans instead of my PET scan, my usually 1 scan PET scan next to my house, I was feeling upset and sad, and then after interacting with 3 or 4 people, the 4th people, I started thinking I have to interact. After all, what I mean, I'm not just an object. And so it's actually not just that person who interacted with me, it's me interacting with them. And so then, just this realization that even as a patient, you have something you can do. You can share your stress. Literally, you can say, hey, I'm really stressed about that test, or I'm really stressed about the reason I'm here. Like, it scares me, or gosh, I'm so frustrated that I cannot get better. Or that I can get better, or whatever. Like, whatever is the reason you're seeing someone in the healthcare system, share your emotion. And I think at that moment, if that person is not completely burned out, and hopefully they are not, they're going to stop in their track and they're going to realize your humanity. And so that's really what I want to share is we are all human and we're all here for this connection. And if you don't get it right away from that person that you're interacting with, ask for it. And there are all those ways to ask for it, which is like, in this case, I shared my stress, but I think I also made a joke and I made them feel comfortable. And yes, you could say this was not my role as the patient in that case. But I also realized that the other person, we are removing the pleasure of doing medicine, right? I think insurances are removing the pleasure of doing medicine because insurances are decreasing the price that they are willing to pay. And so in order to make the same amount of money, the institutions need to do, like institution or private practices need to do more numbers, right? And the truth is that there's inflation in everything, but when it comes to the salaries of people who are in healthcare, that has not gone through inflation as well. So it's really backed up, right? And so I'm not going to ask this person who doesn't know me, who is being already asked by the administration, hey, you need to do that many CT scan in that many time, because it doesn't have the time. The institution is not asking them to make us feel good, they're not asking them to listen to us. They're not asking them to make a conversation with us, which I think is a big mistake. And I think that that's why people are not staying in the institution. They are getting out of medicine. And I cannot blame them for that. And I hope that they see the power of doing direct care as well. But yeah, humanity is so important, and institution and processes can only do so much. And so, I always say this, that, choose the doc or choose the provider, that's going to make you feel heard, that's going to make you feel good, that's going to make you feel hopeful. And I think that that's the same. And in the meantime, if you don't have that, you can get their humanity by asking them questions about them, by making them laugh, and by just asking about them, like what made you do this job? Like, do you like it? What's going on? And let them ask about them, and then they finally open up and they can share their humanity. So today was a very short episode because I just had this realization. We are bringing the hypnotherapist on very soon. And so I'm very excited to share this with you. Maybe I'll have one more episode of me alone and sharing some of my thoughts with the healthcare system, and then just in general healing. There's a lot that I'm reading right now about healing energy, and I find it really fascinating. So one day I will share this with you. It's not all woo-woo. That's all I can say for now. And then if you have listened all the way and you think that this episode is something that you've learned from, please share. Why not? This is such a pleasurable time to share the thoughts that I have about the medical field from both a physician and a patient perspective. So if you think that someone can enjoy this, share it with them. And then if you're looking for a rheumatologist, I'm in the Denver area for in-person, but I'm also accepting patients for telehealth in Wisconsin, in Michigan, as well as Colorado. I would love to help you. My goal is to get you in remission as fast as possible so you can live the life that you were always meant to live. And that may be with medication, maybe, but we can also we can talk about how would that look. And if you're looking to be with a doctor that really cares for you, know that that's my goal with Bridge MD, that you may live as long as possible, as well as possible, and most importantly, that you feel that you have a guide on this path to remission, because that's really where I'm seeing myself, as a guide. All right. Well, thank you so much again, and see you next week. Bye-bye.